Hello everyone, myself Sahiljan, and today we are going to discuss about some basic operations on MongoDB. So before discussing about its operations, we are going to first brief. I'm just going to brief about what is MongoDB and what is NoSQL database. So we are going to first talk about NoSQL database. What is NoSQL database? It's a form of database management system that is non-relational. Systems are schemaless, avoid joins, and easy to scale. This itself like the data the data here are not related to each other, like existence of one data is not going to affect the existence of another data. Okay, there are some benefits of NoSQL which you can read yourself. Now I'm going to discuss about what is MongoDB. MongoDB is an open source document database that provides high performance, high availability, and automatic scaling. It's an open source, so anyone who has a knowledge about how the MongoDB works and how the internal code of MongoDB works can contribute to it. So the scope for its improvement is not limited. The advantages of using documents are document corresponds to native data types in many programming languages. That means the the data in the MongoDB looks like an object. Like there's a key and there's a value. Okay, and just like a variable has some data type, that data type which this database uses in its data are mainly the native data type which is available in many programming languages. Generally, we use JavaScript here. Okay, embedded documents and array reduce the need for expensive joins. Dynamic scheming supports fluid polymorphism. Okay, so this is the structure which with the data which is in which the data is stored in the MongoDB in the database. Okay, I just stated that it's like there's a key and there's a value. So this is the key, this is the value. This is the key, this is the value, and it is stored in an object, and that object is further stored in an array. Okay, and also remember one thing: there's a database. I'm going to show the some hierarchy. Like there's a database, and in that database, there are collections, many collections. You can have multiple collections. One, two, three, how much you want. Collection one, collection two, and collection three. Okay, and so on. In collection one, there's an array. Only one array. Only one array exists. And in that array, you store data in the form of objects, JavaScript objects, technically saying. And that objects, there's one key value pair which is compulsory, and it is available. It is by default added by the MongoDB, and that key value pair is this underscore ID, which denotes the object ID. I'm going to talk about it later. For the time being, I would like to say this is the name of that field, and this is object ID, and which is unique to the whole database. You cannot find this data, object ID in the data of even in other collections. Okay, which actually uniquely defines every each and every data available in that database. Okay, next here the main motto of this video comes: the database operations. So if there is no existing database, the following command is used to create a new database. This command is used. This is the database name and this is the command. Like this is syntax of using that command. I'm going to show it side by side. Once I discuss some group of commands, then I'm going to discuss it. I'm going to show it on the Mongo CLI. This is the name of database, and if this database, which I'm going to write here, if it exists, it will switch to it. And if it doesn't exist, it will first create it, then switch to it. And if you want to check that in which database you are, you can simply write db in that db in that command line, and then press enter. Okay. And if you want to you want to check if you want to show all the databases in the available in your memory available in your local memory, then you can write show dbs uh, in the command line, and you can see all the database. And this is the command to delete that data. Okay. Now let's see these commands in action. So I will increase the font to make it visible for you. Okay. Here is the command line for for MongoDB, which accesses your local memory to store the databases which you create. Okay. Now you will ask, what is this test? Is this a database? Yes, it's a database, but it is temporarily stored in your memory. It is not in the ROM. It is in the RAM. Just I'm going to tell you. This is temporary. If I am going to write that command, remember that command? Show databases, which lists all the database. See, it is there's admin and config, which is by default always comes with admin config local, which is by default comes with whenever you install the MongoDB Mongo CLI in your system. This is I have created for my projects. Okay. Here, what the point is, here you cannot see that this database test. Okay, you cannot see. So why you cannot see? Because it is not stored in the memory. It's a temporary memory allocated just for if you want to run some commands. It is necessary to allocate some temporary memory so you can run your commands. So the first command that we learned today is use database. If I just copy this, which is an existing database, the existing data, and hit enter, it says switch to DB database user app, which is already existing in my local memory. And now if I say use user, the database name is user, and it is not in my local memory. Okay, and I hit enter, it says switch to DB user. And now if I run the command show DBS, you will see you will see that there is no database created. Why is that? Why? Because there is no collection. You have to create a collection in the database so that it can be registered in the local memory. And and use if you just create a database and don't add any collection to it, it will drop it automatically. And still see, it is it is on the user database. But when I come run the command show dbs, it will not it is not going to show it. Later on, I'm going to create a collection whenever I introduce you to that command. Then you will see that the user database magically appears here. Okay, let's go to that ppt. Now collection operation. Okay, to create collection, you need to run this command: create collection user. And in this double quotes, you will write the name of that collection. Just I discussed earlier that this is the topmost thing, database name, and in that there are many collections. Each collection has its own name. Okay, for, yeah, you have to use that name here. Okay, like in the users database, I want to create a collection user. So what my hierarchy becomes? The database name is users. Okay, and in that database, I am going to create a collection which called user. USER, user. Okay, this is the way to show collections, and this is the way to drop. Okay, let's see. See now, show collections. I'm going to first write it. Show collections. See, nothing, nothing comes. Now I'm going to create it. db dot create create in double quotes user. Okay. Now hit enter. It says okay. One means true. If it comes out zero, and it will if it some error happens, it will show you. Okay, db.create collection. Now if you run the command show collections, it will say this one, that this one collection is existing in this database. Now run this command show dbs. Magically, that user which is not earlier showing in that database, in the list of databases, now appears. So what? So maybe you have understood what happened. What I have told you. What is the method of creation and the storage of databases in the local memory. Okay. Now let's move forward. Okay. This is the way to drop the created the collection. db dot collection name dot drop function. Okay. Now we have moved ahead to the CURD operations. What this CURD stands for? C stands for create, R stands for read, U stands for update, and D stands for delete. This is the basic operation which every database performs. Every database exists. It performs these four operations. Okay. Maybe it is restricted to the authority of accessing it, but yes, all database uses these four operations. have these provision. It's mandatory. First one is, okay, I'm going to erase it first. First one is create. Create or insert operations add new documents to a collection. If the collection does not currently exist, insert operation will create the collection. Now, refer to its words. It says that if you don't have that collection in which you are inserting that object in this it's called document. Okay, remember it. Which I am referring to object in the database language. It is called document. Okay, it's called a document. If you add a new document into a collection, this create operation is used. Read operation, accessing it or retrieving it from a collection. Okay, update, it uses to already existing document in the collection to update it. Okay, delete, deleting it from the collection. Bulk, right? You will see that. Okay, it's actually related to create operation. Okay, but this is not covered in this PPT. Okay, so for the time being, we are not going to discuss about. Okay, create operations. There are two create operation which is used in MongoDB is db.collection insert one, db.collection insert main. Okay, here we pass documents, not objects. Documents. It behaves like objects. That's why I've earlier said it's objects. It behaves like objects, but technically it's called document. Okay, this is the name. This is the user document which has name, age, and status. Okay, and it is inserted into the user's collection. Okay, second, it is inserted into the user's collection. Okay, remember one thing: the collection that we have created is the okay. We have created a collection user in the user database, and this is the way to add it. db.inventory insert one. It's another collection, and in that is one object. This is insert many whenever you want to add many objects, and you have to pass it in an array. Like what I have said that uh, in every collection there's an array in which every objects or documents is stored. So whenever you want to insert many objects, you have to enclose it in the array of it in array. Okay. Now let's see in this. Now let's see this create operations in action. Now first, I'm going to drop this database, this collection. Okay. What? Remember the command to drop this collection? tb dot user. Okay, maybe increase the font more so that it's more visible to you. This is okay. CCC. This is collections. Okay, and this is the collection that we have user. So what we're going to write db dot user dot. Okay, don't get confused. This is the name of the database and this is the name of the collection. Okay, which we are going to drop for the sake of simplicity, so that you didn't get confused in that. Okay, db dot user dot drop. Okay, now I'm not going to create the collection. I'm just going to directly insert it. Okay, db dot users. Okay, users is the name of the collection. dot insert. Okay, whenever you write something, just hit like insert o n. Okay, you don't need to write this every time like this. Just like write few words. You write few initial words. I N S. Okay, then hit tab. It will show you. See, hitting tab. Then whenever you use some few words like INS and then hit tab multiple times. Okay, it will show you. It will show you every possible every available command using that first initial words. Okay, what we want to use that insert one. One. Okay, whenever you forget it and you are able to remember first initial words, use it and remember it like this. Okay, insert one. What we're going to insert? We're going to insert the set that same database which is available in this PPT. Name. Okay, remember it. What's the name? Name is C. Okay, age is after every key value pair you have to add comma. Okay, except for the last one. Okay, age is 26 and what else? Status. Status and that is obviously pending. Pending. Okay, now it says acknowledge true and it returns the ID, the object ID of that document which is inserted. Now I'm going to show you. And this is the command which is used for inserting one object, one document. For inserting many, similarly, you just need to encurve this object inside an array and add multiple objects separated with commas. Now, let's go move forward. Read operations. There is one read operation which is called db.collection.find. Okay, there are there are some things which you need to see in this read operation in this find method. db the db, and this is the name of the collection. And after that, the keyword find. In that, you need to first if it is blank, it is going to give all the data in that collection. But if you want to filter it. Okay, it's like filters. Get it? The first is query criteria. The second is projection, and the last one is the cursor modifier. We're going to discuss it one by one. First is the query criteria. It's like you are setting limits. You are setting limits, or you're going to filter that data with the with imposing restrictions on the keys and the values of the keys. Get it? Like if you want to find all the users whose age is greater than 18. You want to find all the users whose age is greater than GT is abbreviation for greater and dollar is used is used as a parameter. Okay, dollar GT stands for greater than 18. It's greater than 18. It's going to filter out. It's going to check every the age criteria in every collection. If it is greater than 18, it's going to add into our final result. Into our final result. Okay. Second thing, we'll block it out to make more space. Second thing, name one, address one. What is this? When the database, when it's going to return the result, it's going to show its name and address only. Nothing else. Like if it is a phone number, something else, it is going to not going to show it. It's just going to show the name and address whenever it's added to the final. Every other keys are omitted. And the last thing, the cursor modifier. The cursor modifier. It's like you are going. It's like you are limiting to the search results. Like if it is returning, if you omit this, okay, just leave it. Omitting this, it's it using a re- this command is going to return us give us 20 results, suppose. And for the time being, we are omitting this. Remove it. Let's say running this command gives us 20 results. Okay. But you want only first five results should come to your picture. Only first five results. Then you should add this. Then someone asked me why you want this. Why you should do this? Some think it like that. Whenever the number of data is in millions and billions. Like comments, example is comments. Comments are on a videos like in billions and billions, millions and millions. And if you call it from the database, and then millions of objects just rushing to it to your uh, front end, it's going to literally hang your browser. So you should limit it. Like only 20, only first 30 comments I want to see. It's going to give you first 30 comments. Likewise here, it's limiting to five. The first five results is going to add it to your final result. Okay, understood? Now, moving forward, there are some examples in and with or. Okay, I'm going to discuss it. It's like if you the status which has the values of A, D, or I want to add C. Only this status should be added to my final. Get it? It's going to my my cursor. The MongoDB cursor is going to check that if the status is uh, equal to A or D or C or something else, if it is included in this array. If it is not, it's going to omit it. It will not going to add to the final result. If it is suppose if it is equal to D, then it's going to add it to the final result. If it is equal to C, if it is going to add it to the final result. Get it? And you never see that AND operator which is likely used in C++. But likewise, if you first add one filter, you can see that no, not here. If you first add first filter, like I wanted all the data which has status A, and it should have quantity which is less than 30. So the final result, so the cursor will check first. Is that status A? Status is A? Yes, it is A. Then it's going to check if that quantity is less than 30, and if it is less than 30, then it is going to add it to our final result. Okay, what is OR? Now OR. Now we will talk about OR. Here, like a dollar or and brackets. What do you mean by OR? This or this. Likewise, if the status is equal to A, or the quantity is less than 30. In earlier case, you don't need to use any some sort of dollar and it is automatically understood by the MongoDB. But for using OR operator, you have to write it like this. Okay, and with OR, mix it's just it's simple mixing these two things. Like first you added some status A, and then you added OR operator. Okay, see this example here. You will get it. Simple. This the AND operation is applying on this and this, and the OR operation is happening between the three items here. Okay. The AND operation is happening in between this and this, and the OR operation is happening between this quantity and item. Okay. Now update operations. Okay. I'm going to use this in my database. I'm going to show everything in action in action. db dot users dot find. First, I'm going to give a no filter. It is going to return everything available in the data, in that collection. Okay. First running this find command with filters. I'm going to add more data so that it is more easier to understand. Insert main. Copy this from here. I'll just copy this from here and X, comma, this, comma, this. Okay, for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to save. Second name is Bob. Okay, his age is suppose 12, and his status is something called what? Pending, active, active. Another is rock, rock. Okay, his age is 36, and his status is also pending. There's another name, Ria, and her age is suppose 16, and her status is active. Okay, is PI3. Now hit enter. Oh, it gives an error. What error? Argument docs documents must be in an array of documents. I I intentionally forget to add array to it, so that I will show you that if an error occurs, how it will look like. It say Mongo invalid argument error. It will give you the type of error and what exactly happened. Okay. I'm going to just add inside the arrays. What? What? No, I'm to hit enter. Okay. Acknowledge true, and it gives the object of every inserted document. It gives an object of IDs of every inserted document. Okay. Now if I run command users are fine, then you will see these four. These four did. Okay. Now I'm going to run that find command with filters. Suppose I run a filter on age. First, as you can see here, the I'm going to run the same. Okay. Same thing. Age is dollar GT colon 18. See yourself. What did it return? 26 and 36. See, see yourself. It returned all the documents, all the users which has age greater than 80. This is 26 and 36. See yourself. 12 and 16 is omitted. Is not returned. Okay. Likewise, you can practice other commands which are listed here, and that's your homework. Okay, that's your homework. Use the commands, and if some error happens, then comment it down. If some error happens, I'm going to resolve it as soon as I could. Update operation. What update operation means? There are three you can use. Update one, update many, replace one. Okay. db.collection update one. An example is db.inventory update one. It will first find that which documents we want to update. Like I want to update all the documents which has item equals to paper, and comma, after that I'm going to pass an object which has every everything which I want to update this. So dollar, I'm going to engulf it inside the dollar set colon. Okay, see this is a bit complicated. This is a bit complicated for you to understand. Okay. First, see this command. db.collection update one. Okay. So first thing is the collection, and second thing is the update filter. Like which of documents you want to update, and after that set what? set the filter documents which has age less than 18, and set that status to reject. Okay, say the status to reject. Okay, I'm going to show it. Okay, same command, pv dot users dot. Okay, first I'm going to show you the update one command, then I'm going to show update many command. Okay, update one, and with that I'm going to show you the difference. Okay, the filter age dollar less than what 18. Okay, the filter, we got the filter. Number of brackets okay. Number of brackets are okay. Let's have a comma, and after that, what you want to set. Okay, we are going to set the status as reject. Then what we do? Curly braces, inside that dollar set colon, again curly braces, what status? Status to what? Reject. Okay, it says acknowledge true. That means my update is successful. Match count is 1. That means my acknowledge true. That means my command is correct. My There's no error in my command. And match count means I they found a data which has this age less than 18. Now I'm going to show you which data has been changed. Fine. Okay, I'm going to say use this command less than. Okay, it's going to list all the users which has less than 18. Okay, that has been changed. See that? Okay, enter. So whose status has been rejected? Bob. So whenever you update one, it always change updates the first occurrence of age less than 18. First, it traverses the correction, and find first that Bob has age of 12. It find it stopped there and change its status to rejected. Reject. Done. When you use update many, it updates every instance, every occurrence of the age less than 18. Okay, got it? Now, delete operation. Think what is going to do the delete? It's going to delete that data, that document which you want, which you don't want in your database. Like there are also delete one, delete many, and this function is same. This function is the function of one and many same as that update one and update many. What that update one does, it updates the first occurrence of that data. So as the delete one, it deletes the first occurrence of that data according to the filter. And delete many, it deletes all the occurrences of data which corresponds to the filter. Okay. Remember one thing. Use this command carefully. Okay. Whenever you're in company, use this command very carefully. Very carefully. If you suddenly, if you Uses blank braces and hit enter. It's going to delete all the data in that collection, and it doesn't even give you a warning that you are going to delete all the data. It just deletes it. Okay. So whenever you are using delete operations, be careful about it. Whatever what you're using. Okay. So I'm just show. I will just show it. I just show it. Just show it. db dot users dot delete many. What what do you want to delete? Uh, okay, which has name like Q. Okay, which has name Bob. Okay, its application is related, so I'm going to delete it from my database also. Hit enter. Acknowledge true. Delete count one. Now, if you run command db dot users dot fi find, then Bob is not. It got deleted. Okay. Even deleted many deletes one obviously. If another person is named Bob, then it also get deleted. Okay, it's also got deleted. If another document has a key which has which is named as Bob. Okay, it's also written here. It will delete the first occurrence. Okay, it is a note here. Indexes delete operation do not drop indexes even if the deleting all documents from a collection. like you like you created everything, even you have some memory stored, some memory allocated to it. Once a memory is allocated, it is not withdrawn. It's like that. So with this, we have discussed all the uh, all the CURD operations which is used in the MongoDB database. And if some doubt occurs, you can just comment in the video. And thank you. And the very important reference link is the documentation of MongoDB. So feel free to explore it. Explore it. Okay, I will show it. MongoDB. MongoDB docs. Search it. This is a documentation for okay. This is the link. Okay, just given in my PPT. Here you get the guidance how to install it. Okay, all the documentation, data models, indexes, CURD operations, which I just discussed inside document. Here, the what I have discussed, there's much more thing in this documentation. So go explore it. Exploring the key. Exploring the key to learn development, any development language, any language. You have to explore it. And there's a very nice documentation for MongoDB. Go and explore it. You will find very interesting. It has examples, everything. Go explore it. And if the doubt comes, you can ask in my comment section. Okay? I'm always there to help you. Thank you and have a nice day.